This is Northwest Florida real estate. And this is how we get off-market properties. All right, guys, this is Jay Paul.
And Mike Flowers.
And we're back with Northwest Florida real estate. This is going to be the second video for our yellow letters and our marketing campaign that we wanted to talk to you guys about. And this one we're going to talk about response rates and open rates. And different things you can do to tweak out to tweak your list, whether it be to change
how to optimize your marketing campaigns and make them correct, make it to where you're getting the best response.
You should optimize. How to optimize your marketing for better response. Let's see. First off, open rates. Typical open rate on the yellow letters, sometimes people say 5 to 8%. We've been getting around that 8%, sometimes a little higher than that. It really all depends.
It depends a lot on the list that you're sending. Like I said in the previous video, the times that I've sent to that inheritance list, I've gotten up to 17% on a response rate. Yeah, I'm only sending 300 letters, but I'm getting 45 responses back.
Yeah,
so that's crazy. That is an amazing response rate.
Well, that's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Which so like your war zones. Well, we don't like to mess with the war zones. Yeah, everybody's got to have a place to live. But when it comes to the war zones, we've found that it's so much harder to find a buyer. And if you're a buy and hold investor, it's hard to chase your rent checks down in war zones. So that's what we say: quality over quantity. Yeah, you can market and blanket a whole zip code, but if it's mostly war zones, yeah, your response rate is going to be amazing. First off, because they're going to be like, oh, someone wants to buy my house.
Finally, someone wants to buy this house.
Yeah, build the 20s, 2-bed, 1-bath, 300 square foot, and it's just garbage.
And two shootings down the road last week.
So we stay away from war zones as much as possible, unless it's a smoking deal. And I know I've got a couple buyers in the war zones, but it better be a smoking deal for me to just flip that thing real quick. 24-hour flip.
As far as tweaking your letter goes, you can test out a lot of things. We used to do all of our letters by ourselves. We would sit down for a day, crank out 100. We do that. Sometimes 2 times a week, most of the time 1 time a week, just get 100 of them out a week. Now we do a lot more delegation. We have a company that does that for us. We're not exactly sure how well the quality is going to be yet, so we're not going to tell you who they are. When we find out how good the quality is, since we just started working with them, we will definitely mention them because their price is amazing. So once we verify their quality and how everything goes, we'll definitely start talking about them more. It's
definitely the cheapest and we've done a lot of research. We sent out 1,200 and they should hit the market. Today is February the 18th, 2015. They should be hitting the market hopefully by Monday, which I think is going to be the 21st?
Yep.
21st, so I'm hoping they're going to hit the market on Monday. But we did a lot of research because, like Mike said, we're doing, we would sit down, it would take us literally all day to do 150 handwritten letters.
And this guy's the one writing them, so his hands really hurt by the end of the day.
It takes all day, so it's for a few cents more or 10 to 15 cents more per letter to get it outsourced. It comes down to how much is your time worth,
Well, here's the thing, especially when we were doing it, we calculated it at, to stuff, stamp, do everything, to pay for the entire thing, for us to do it ourselves, it was 52 cents. Right now, to send out 1,000 letters, we're getting it for 66 cents. 14 cents a letter to not have to spend my entire day on it, that's worth it for me.
Yeah.
And then once we go up, because we're looking into the future of doing 5,000 letters, and at 5,000 we can get it for about 60 cents a letter. So that's an amazing price. That's 8 cents more a letter than we could do it by ourselves, and that would take us 10 days to get it done. So it's definitely worth it for us to just delegate that out, outsource it to someone else, and make that their job rather than ours. Now, another thing that you can change, because I know they also do handwritten envelopes, but they do printed letters. The envelope is the thing that matters the most. As long as that is handwritten, it's going to get a higher response rate than a printed. Now, once you have the printed letter, you're probably going to still get a pretty good response rate. You may see a small dip in percentage, but it's not enough to go back to handwriting every single letter. If you're set on doing it yourself because you don't have the capital or whatever the case may be, research mail merge, and I'll do a video later down the road of how to do these mail merges. on Microsoft Word to get you to where you're able to do those. But what Mail Merge does is it takes referencing from an Excel spreadsheet, and you can type your letter in Word and you can reference it to that Excel spreadsheet, and it'll put in the address and the name of the person and things like that, and then you can print off 50, 100, 200 letters all at one time, rather than having to worry about handwriting them or printing off one letter and typing in another name, something like that. So that's an easy way to do it, and I'll do a future video on that to get you guys more in tune with that.
And real quick on that, I've heard of, and I actually did this, I've heard of people, and you probably have too, you've heard of people talking about taking a blank piece of white lined paper, like your typical school paper, and photocopying, color copy on your with your printer, scanner, whatever you've got, and it looks pretty good. Now you can take that, but you want to make sure you're photocopying it on, or you're doing it with white, because with your typical yellow letter, you can photocopy it on any colored paper you want, but it looks really good. Now you would probably have to tweak it and line it up a little bit. So if you wanted to, he was talking about with the Mail Merge thing, say you still wanted to look handwritten without a font, you can download handwritten fonts, but say you wanted it to just kind of look like yours, you can have a template that you write up with this these printed sheets that you've made that look like yellow paper or whatever the case may be. You just type in dear, or write in dear, leave the name blank. I want to buy your house at blank, leave it blank, and the rest of your letter, and then all you have to do, you've got 100 papers, all you have to do is put the name and the address, their name and the address, name and address. So if you still want to do the handwritten, it'll save you a lot of time. So it's still going to be time consuming doing the handwriting, especially on the envelopes, but you can at least have it look like a handwritten letter rather than doing a handwritten font, which it's up to you, whatever you want to do. So
yeah, and like he was saying, you can do that. You're going to have a little bit more of a time difference if you just go ahead and do Mail Merge and print them all out. Your time's going to be, you're going to have a little less time, because all you have left at that point is putting it on the envelope, stuffing it, stamping it, sending it out. When you do it that way, you have a little bit more time, so you have to write in the name, you have to write in the phone number, but that sometimes will get you a higher response rate. So again, it goes to that quantity over quality, or quality over quantity type thing. Yes, that's going to get you a more of a response rate. The way the Mail Merge is going to get you maybe a slightly less response rate, but you can send out more. You just have to weigh what's best for you, especially on what type of list that you're using. Test everything. Whatever works for you in your market. We could do one thing in our market and it completely not work in yours. So you need to test what's right for your business. Test what he said and see if handwriting them and copying them does better, or test the Mail Merge and see if you can get more letters out and see what your response rate difference is. It's all going to depend on your market, your business, and what's right for you. So you need to test everything.
once again, this is Jay Paul
And Mike Flowers.
and we are Northwest Florida Real Estate. Just stay tuned. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you have any comments, you can leave them at the bottom. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. If we don't get back to you right away, that means we're out there getting deals. So
definitely like the video. It helps us out, and go make some money.